So I downloaded Nightmare Puzzles because apparently past me hated having mental peace. And honestly, the game did not exactly help me keep it. I won't lie to you there. I started with level 1, and the first thing I saw was this little option that said I could watch 3 ads to unlock all the levels for 24 hours. Like, I don't know what it was, but it was in the place where I thought the play button was. So I clicked it, and the entire screen just went black. At that point, I did not even know what was happening, so I closed the game and opened it again. And yeah, that already tells you a lot about my experience with this game. So, we start with level 1, of course. A ghost enters a bride, and yeah, we have just collectively decided to casually ignore the fact that both the bride and the groom are lying there dead, because apparently the investigation was not about figuring out how they died. No, I have to help this guy find the real bride. So I picked up some salt and took it to the ghosts, which eliminated the three of them. And then, out of nowhere, two hands came out and started guiding me. Then I picked up the bone and gave it to the dog, and the game tells me the dog barks when it sees a ghost. So now we are using a dog as a ghost detection equipment. Then I picked up this wooden thing. I won't lie to you, it looked like a drum to me. So obviously I played the drum, except then I got the knowledge that it was not a drum, it was apparently a wooden fish. At this point, I was completely out of ideas, so I started clicking around the windows again. Nothing. Then I thought, okay, maybe the dead body has something to do with this. So I clicked around the dead body, also nothing. So eventually I just gave up and pressed the hint button, and the game tells me that this guy's wooden sword can be used with magic. So I picked up the sword, and just as I was about to take it over to the ghosts, yeah, as you can see, there was an ad which I skipped, and then I finally got back to the game. So the sword gets used, and one more of the ghosts gets eliminated. And can I just let's just talk about this one for a second. You're telling me that much of animation of two swords roaming around just to eliminate one ghost? I thought it would eliminate like three or something. Anyways, then I clicked around, and apparently I clicked on the ghost's skirts, and the game tells me ghosts will have no legs. What was that whistle in the background? Then I kept clicking around, and eventually I clicked on the hands. And then the game tells me ghosts will have long nails. And just like that, two more ghosts are eliminated. At this point, yeah, I am literally just randomly clicking around anywhere to see what works. So then I'm like, you right there, sitting as I do your job, are you supposed to do something? Then I click on him, and yeah, in fact, he did drop something. Anyways, my brain was not working at this point, so I click on him again, and kid you not, notice she has heart eyes. And then the game tells me the priest's robe helps to drive away ghosts. Sure. And finally, we find the bride. And kid you not, soon as the level ends, the game shows me this picture of the bride and groom hugging, and I'm just sitting there thinking, were they dead? Were they alive? what the heck just happened? Anyways, that was level 1. And immediately another ad. I tried to close the ad and it opened Play Store. I exit Play Store and guess what? Another ad pops up. At this point, I was genuinely getting super frustrated. But yeah, then I made it to level 2. And this time, the game asks me to find 12 suspicious points. So I start looking around, of course. Most obvious. First, there is SOS written in blood on the back seat. And wait, a guy with that face holding out his bottle to you with his hand that close to your leg is not suspicious enough for you? Oh well. Then there is a breaking news report saying that someone has gone missing. I also see what looks like poison sitting right there. The guy is handing me a green bottle with some mysterious green liquid inside, which I'm assuming is from this poison. And don't act too smart. I noticed how the map shows that you took a detour, and then there are bloody footprints inside the car. Like, girl, did you not see those footprints as you were sitting inside the car? Like, what the heck? Okay, she's got this purse. Let's see. You have a death certificate in. How is that a suspicious point? Wait, is that the girl carrying it or is that the driver's? And kid you not, I do not like this guy's face. Let's see the this guy's face is a freaking suspicious point. I mean, oh yeah, I agree. I agree. That's a very suspicious face. I do not trust that face. Yeah, but I won't kid you there. Like, I could not figure out the last suspicious point, and eventually I ran out of time. And honestly, I blame the ads because I got interrupted by. So I just gave up. But I came back to it because I am not losing to this thing. And apparently, the thing I missed was in the rear view mirror. There was supposed to be a girl reflected in it, except she was missing, and I was like, wait, was the girl dead this entire freaking time? What was this level? Because that just left me with even more questions than I started with. And I could not even bother with those questions because immediately after that revelation, guess what happens? At this point, kid you not, it felt like I was basically playing a second game called Close the Ad without opening Play Store. Eventually, I escaped the ads and moved on to level 3. Before the level starts, this game gives me a warning. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's called Nightmare Puzzles. I feel like we both knew what we were getting into. Then the objective appears, and I'm like, who the hell is Bai Wu Chang? The only things I could interact with were these cards lying around on the ground. So naturally, I just started dragging them onto everything. Meanwhile, outside the door, there's this guy standing there with a tongue that is basically hanging out of his mouth. Like, what is that? No offense, but like, I do not know anything about what I am currently doing right here. Like, seriously, I'm just trying to solve a puzzle while this guy is standing there looking like that. So, I was supposed to open this locked desk. So, I opened it, put the card inside, and finally, I was left with one final card. Except, I had absolutely no idea whatsoever where it went. Naturally, yep, I tried it on absolutely everything, and then And that's when I discovered that these two were, in fact, two long apart lovers finally meeting again. And then another ad. Except this time it was basically another nightmare puzzles ad. Help! A woman stressing out because her roommates are filthy and the entire place is a mess. Next! So apparently, my brain decided that I was still available for some more torture. So I started with level 4, and this one gave me 3 minutes. And I am immediately thinking the amount of ads that these 3 minutes are going to bring me is going to be insane. The objective this time is create a beautiful picture. Sure. So I find a saw blade lying on the ground and put it into the chainsaw because, yep, that's how we are starting. Then I discovered the scissors, and can we just talk about how this whole scene is basically a weird horror group? There's a mummy, a guy wearing a mask, a blue lady, a guy with a chainsaw, and another woman just lying there in the snow. Lady, are you not cold? So, anyways, I take the scissors and cut up the mummy a bit so, like, her face is a bit visible. Then, of course, I start clicking on everything in the background to see what I can move. I can move the candy cane and a bow tie. So, I start bringing them over to all the characters, trying to figure out what they do. Nothing. Then I took inspiration from this guy and started clicking on the characters themselves, and two of them straightened their posture. Only two. Then I take the bow tie and finally it fits around one of the guy's necks. And then at this point, I'm already on my last bit of patience and I'm trying to figure out how this thing works. The candy cane does absolutely nothing, and then I get another ad. So I close that one, and at this point, I decide to watch an ad for a hint because doesn't matter, literally does not matter whether I watched ads or not. I will have to keep watching ads regardless of whether I choose to. The first one ends and I'm immediately hit with buy a Nestle Kit Kat, celebrate us. I'm like, I don't give a shit. And that's when I finally accepted it. Listen, it's 3 in the morning. I do not have the patience. I do not have the brain power. And I am not watching another ad for a hint. So, yeah, I am quitting. That's it for today. I'll see you guys again later. Thank you for watching the video. Goodbye.